Ever wonder where that bright orange carrot comes from in your garage dragon bowl? We're here today at the Cowichan Green Community Farm, just 2 kilometers away from the garage.
So yeah, this is the tomato tunnel, and so we've got some bad boys starting to grow in here now.
How many varieties do you have on the go?
Oh, I want to say probably 30 to 40 different varieties at least, and then we have more in the field. Last year was an awful year for tomatoes, but this year's looking really great. 30 plus varieties, everything from, cherries to slices to beefsteaks to, bicolors, ox hearts, everything in between. This year I can tell we're going to have a lot, and so if you guys are thinking about doing a line of sauce or canning or whatever, doing a lot of paste tomatoes, lots of different varieties like potato leaf varieties, which is kind of a new variety that we've teamed up with a seed breeder, and so these are all brand new. Some of them actually haven't even been released.
Is tomatoes the biggest crop? Just that you produce here?
Or
even volume?
It's, probably the most poundage, yeah. We do a lot of interplanting as well, so obviously lots of basil, and that just kind of, fills in the space. And then we usually tip them as well. So a lot of time, we give you guys, the tips. We just pinch those off, and then they branch out and basically get a lot bushier. So instead of, a single basil thing, you keep taking the tips off and suddenly you've got a big bush of basil. You almost got an Italian pasta sauce right here, you got
Yeah. I've never kept a basil plant alive in my entire life. Do you have a tip?
You just gave me the tip.
Yeah.
So is that like a common thing that people would do in their greenhouse, or is that something that you do to save space? And
yeah, so people interplant for both space, but also for, pest resistance. There's certain plants that work symbiotically with other plants. We use sometimes mustards, which is really, spicy, and so sometimes slugs and other pests actually don't like hanging around mustards. And yeah, but this one's simply just a space thing. Although we're not certified organic, we do grow organically. We put a lot of time and effort into making sure the plants are happy, and that starts obviously with the soil. And so we amend a lot with natural products, fish bone meal, seaweeds, kelp extracts. We're working a little bit with compost teas. In a way, we are feeding the soil before the plants, if that makes sense.
Why aren't you guys going the route as certified organic, and what are the challenges with that?
So we were certified organic. We originally were a seed farm, and we did pick up that certification. There's so much work involved in that certification. The amount of hours, if you put together, the labor to do all the records, and it's very exact. You can only bring in organic certified products. That really restricts you. The record keeping is insane. It's way too much, and for a farmer to kind of look at that time that takes, they're like, no, I got to be in the field. I don't want to be doing paperwork. So I think over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, a lot of farmers are doing the same. I think customers are viewing it less important, as long as they're sort of getting the information from the farmer that they grow organically or they're not using pesticides or chemicals. We have a very open concept. People can come and see how we grow, what we put in the soil. When you go to charge for an organic product, you have to charge X amount more. And so with the prices of food now, that kind of restricts you, and you're really putting yourself in a higher niche. We're trying as an organization increase food accessibility. We thought, we're growing the same, but we can reduce that price and have more access to that because we can charge less, basically.
Yeah.
And most customers will say, hey, as long as I know they're not using chemicals and pesticides, I'm happy to support.
so then, because you do follow that practice, what are you using for pest control? And
Yeah, so I mean, everything from manually pulling worms off. There's an awful worm called wireworm, which is a reason why a lot of farmers in BC don't grow potatoes, because they're attracted to potatoes. We actually use potato traps, and so we get little skewers, put little bits of potatoes on, line up some of our beds,
smart.
and then attract the wireworm to that, and you just have to kill them manually. It's very labor intensive, but that's what you got to do. Like I said, interplanting, using some mustards and things to reduce it. Sometimes we've come out at night, cutworm actually feed at night, and so we've come at night with headlamps and walk around and have a worm party. And I brought my daughter out here, and a lot of squishing. Sometimes you can use natural products. There's different oils. You can use vinegars, dish soap even. Some people even use milk for things like powdery mildew and stuff. So there's more and more natural products that people are using because no one wants to put chemicals on their food anymore, you know. Sometimes we just have outright failures, you know. Sometimes something will come in. I've had a whole row of lettuce last year just can be completely destroyed by wireworm. This year's much better. We're actually trying parasitic nematodes. So they're a small worm that actually eat the larvae of wireworm. So using other pests to eat pests, you know. I've kind of learned to kind of take a big breath and move on from loss because it's just part of the deal. So you do your best to, you know, be preventative in that, but sometimes some years are worse than others.
I feel like it's not something people probably think about when they're buying food, that like the price can fluctuate, because if you've spent all this money and time and energy to plant a whole something and then just disappears, it's like there's not many other businesses where it just disappears. Their inventory is being eaten while you don't even know.
That's right. Yeah, so the entire property is 3.5 acres. We've recently created, I guess, this back area. We've actually got a pond back there now and a dike that runs along the back. So now the flow of water kind of runs down towards that pond, and then we can use that pond for irrigation. What we're thinking is to actually put some berry production in this area back here. Raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, maybe an orchard, and kind of diversify what we can offer. People want more of a one-stop shop when they buy veg, you know? They want not just, you know, your veg, but they want blueberries and this and that. We could, you know, make jam and can and freeze and use in our kitchen. That's what we're hoping to do next year. Now it's clear, it's like, oh my goodness, there's a big space, like, oh my God, more work, you know, but yeah. I'm sure you guys go through fruit as well.
Yeah, just a little bit of fruit, yeah.
So you guys are welcome to find some carrots. Usually you can run your finger around the rim, so to speak. Might have to cut that part. Usually they have a nice kind of purple top on them. I've already broken the top off that one. Yeah, there's a little baby one, so they're not super big yet.
Beautiful.
Is this actually gritty if we eat it right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you don't mind a little bit of dirt, they're actually pretty sweet right now.
Dirt's good for you.
Oh, it is very sweet.
It's really
I
good.
love that.
That's very good.
Mine's got like a lot of dirt on it.
Didn't you just say dirt's good for you?
No, I didn't.
No, Jamie said it.
I don't want to get worms.
Yeah, and we'll edit that part out. No, we won't. Have you guys ever done the math to figure out like how many families you guys can sustain for a year based off the food you grow here?
It's really hard to quantify how many, although, you know, I obviously record how much pounds we sell, but, you know, we give away a lot and we give some to our kitchen. Obviously, we have a lot of programs that we can, you know, augment with this kind of food as well. We did a CSA box program last year where we supported 20 families. With that, and then what we support with you guys with, and then Co-op, and then our market, it adds up to, you know, thousands of pounds. So yeah, guys, the rest of the field, you know, obviously we're trying to have a diverse market garden. So, you know, a lot of cabbage, actually this Caraflex cabbage, I think you guys like that. It's that cone-shaped cabbage.
Love it.
Yeah, a little bit of radish, obviously lettuce we're trying to keep up, and trying to do a lot of succession planting. So when these carrots are ready, you know, you got to have the next round ready to go. What I really love about our relationship is that, you know, that happens, you guys understand, we're like, well, I won't take that, but I'll take this instead. You can kind of jump around and you know, be able to offer something else because that's not ready. So having that flexibility is amazing, yeah.
Makes the garage pretty unique for how much stuff changes.
Keeping it exciting.
Yeah, keeping things exciting, and everything's in season and very nutritious.
You guys want to have a little bit of that mustard there as well? I know Jamie and Nadia like this one, but this is what we put a lot in on our salad mixes. So this is called Ruby Streaks. And you guys can just grab a little branch off and eat it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Spicy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that.
Even the flowers are really great. They're kind of, you know, pretty bright and yellow, and they have a bit of a mustardy taste. But things like this to add to a salad really gives it a nice little zing, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Lots of onions this year. So we're doing the Walla Wallas again, the Rosa di Milano, which is a beautiful big red one, some other sort of yellow onions, and some shallots. You say shallot or shallot?
Shallots.
Shallots.
I say shallots, but
say shallots.
now I feel
Tomato,
like I'm saying
tomato.
it wrong.
I prefer the way you say it.
Yeah. But I grew them last year at home, and the flavor in shallots is just amazing.
Awesome
like,
for,
it just blew me
sauces,
away.
pasta
And
sauces, stuff
something
like
as
that, yeah.
boring as an onion, I have like such a new respect for. And
Oh, I
like
love a
most
good onion.
foods, you know, that you grow yourself, there's such a big flavor difference. You know, even in an onion,
love a
even in
good
a
onion.
potato, even in a carrot. You know, so.
I just got the opening shot.
So as soon as I pick something, it's straight away washed, packed up, and sent to you guys or to Co-op. And I just think that increases its nutritional value. The fresher it is, we harvest, and basically within an hour, it's in your kitchen. And you know, it's probably on someone's plate that afternoon. So
We're already cooking with it as soon as it shows up,
yeah,
basically.
you're giving, you know, the highest quality of nutrition that you can offer. We love the relationship because, you know, it's so quick and fast. It's 2 kilometers, and it just doesn't get more local than that, really. And also concentrating on specific varieties that we know hold a lot of nutrition, like the tatsoi, for example. That's considered a superfood somewhat.
I know, I Googled that right after I was like, what's this? Now I asked for extra tatsoi.
Well, and as a community, it makes us all proud to be able to have something like this, and for us to be able to showcase it.
How do you make it so amazing?
It's all the
Because like some of the stuff that comes in, I'm like, this looks like it was drawn. Like it's so perfect.
It takes time to figure out the best varieties. We've gone through 3 or 4 different broccoli to get to a specific variety. We actually do a lot of pruning, taking off your outer leaves and concentrating the energy of that plant into its new growth. But you know, the biggest thing I would say is just, you know, continuing to add nutrition to the soil.
I still remember the first time that Jamie showed us the picture of the produce, and it came in 2 hours later. And
Yeah.
what a cool feeling that was.
Yeah.
We love the partnership, having you guys out here and just making more of that connection, I think is really important. I think more restaurants and cafes need to do that.
When it's available for me, that's where I go. So.
Is there anything that we don't order from you guys that you guys grow?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that I have.
Anything else we can do?
Yeah, exactly.
I was watching, you guys heard of Matty Matheson?
Yeah.
He put this show on YouTube where he connects with a farmer, and they have this restaurant, and they grow this food. And so the farmer brought over these tomatoes, and they were like this and bicolored and look amazing. And Matty Matheson was like, he was loving these tomatoes, and so he asked the farmer where he got them from, and he was like, oh, I got them from this seed breeder, they're brand new, from this lady called Karen Olivier. And so I was like, I gotta look for where to find these seeds. I couldn't find a lot of information. I found like a Facebook profile that I thought was her, so I reached out and emailed, say, hey, I'm from Vancouver Island, I'm looking for your seeds, you know, do you ship them or whatever? And she's like, oh, I'm in Ladysmith, we should talk. What? Yeah. 5 minutes later, I was on the phone with her, and she's like, I'm looking to partner with a community organization. I'm looking for space to grow and do seed trials. Could I partner with you guys? And I said, absolutely. That happened 3 or 4 years ago, and then every year she grows a couple of 100 different varieties, and so they go through a 10-year trial to become what's called a stable variety. So that's what she's doing now. She's adapting and doing trials on brand new varieties. We're able to use that produce, we can sell the produce, we can use it how we want. She just wants to see how the plants grow and how they adapt. She wants to kind of give them a hard time, and then she basically takes the seed from the best looking ones and uses that for the following trial the next year.
What does it mean to give the plant a hard time? Should we go yell at it?
We're also collaborating with a 93-year-old guy that has been studying grass for 40 years. He's developed this species of grass that in climate change, it's sort of adapt into a hotter climate. Again, as kind of an organization revolved around agriculture, we're trying to keep ahead of the game and look for ways to adapt and educate and partner with other experts. I think that's important to have that open mind and look for those partnerships. Well, let's go in this other tunnel, guys, and we'll quickly show you the peppers and eggplant. Have you guys ever heard of Tulsi? So this plant behind here comes from East India, and it's used in tea. And apparently it has a lot of medicinal uses. If you guys ever want to trial it as a product to use for teas, and grab some and taste it. It's called holy basil. Basil, yes.
Oh, it takes a second after the bite to
Yeah,
feel
like a bit
that.
of aniseed, kind of basil, kind of.
I can smell it just from here.
Yeah.
When it flowers, it smells like heaven. I put it in my greenhouse at home with my tomato.
Yeah.
It's the sweetest aroma. The tea is outstanding.
I feel like that'd be a cool flavor just in salad.
This is a transitional period, so obviously a lot of this stuff like chard and stuff, you know, it's too big. So this is going out, and then we're putting all our hot season products in. Eggplant, peppers, beans, cucumbers. We had a really great eggplant season last year. I think you guys took a lot of different pepper varieties. You guys love poblano, so we're doing extra poblanos this year. And obviously some of the hot peppers, a lot of sweet peppers this year, some cone-shaped sweet peppers, yellow, reds, different colors.
I want all the hot peppers.
Yeah, this guy, yeah.
You know, the usual jalapenos, serranos, habaneros, a few Californian chilies.
Maybe I'll be in charge of making the pizzas for one day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be spicy.
This one's called Hot Peach Fuzz, and it's essentially has this really fruity, almost peach flavor to it. And I don't know if you guys know Mensch Catering, but they make the most amazing hot sauce with it.
Well, once they're ready, if one showed up at the garage, I wouldn't be upset. You know, just little flavor,
Just a taste test,
flavor profile.
No, I'm growing a lot more this year, so I'd love to offer you guys some. Yeah.
We did it, Matt. We found something here that we don't buy yet. You know how focused we are on supporting local, supporting organic? Just coming here makes it feel so real.
Yeah, and then this is kind of all where we start the magic, so to speak. Like I said, everything starts from seed, and so we pot up, we use different trays, different cells, different methods for different varieties. And that is probably one of the things that we like to say that we do well. You really want a healthy plant from the word goes. We start everything, you know, in trays and under lights, and then they kind of move to this space, and then they kind of go out to the field or whatever. The demand for plants and stuff is really increasing. A lot of people trying to grow their own food more and more. A lot of things like beets, we start in soil blocks. Beets is a little bit trickier to direct sow in the field. These blocks hold the moisture a lot better. Yeah, then you just make a little hole and then you plunk them in the ground, and then you have like 4 or 5 beets, almost like a bunch in the ground.
I'm excited for your beets this year.
Yeah, well, I've got some gold ready. Yeah, just a little golf ball size. I was going to offer next week if you guys want any beets. I'd love to supply, you know, some of those things, you know, from you know, March till, well, all year really. It becomes tricky to grow like spinach in the heat, you know, so it's kind of like this bit of a transition now, but I'm sure you guys use spinach every single day, so it's like, oh, how do we keep spinach going through the heat, you know? Sometimes, you know, you get that like heat spell and all the spinach is just flower, you gotta start again. We're trying to get some more arugula going, baby tatsoi that we're starting again.
Ah, yes.
There it is, yeah. It's just so like vibrant.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. We've got a bit more of a herbal garden there, so we're trying to grow more herbs and you know, lavenders and this and that and flowers.
I feel like I've driven by here so many times and I just never clued in that you guys had this going on here.
We hear that so often, and that's why, you know, we're trying to invite people, and now we, you know, having a bit of a facelift. I think people are more curious what's going on there, you know. Once this building's there and we can offer more, we'll become a bit more of a one-stop shop. A lot of people don't know all the other community programs that we have. We have Kin Park that we look after. We're doing chamber events and different kinds of workshops just to kind of get people here, because once people are here, like, oh, okay.
This was awesome. This
Yeah.
is really, really cool.
I think Nate can be our official spokesperson now.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, look at my fingers. Yeah, I know. My partner's like, do you wash? I was like, I washed 8 times already. This is not coming off. She's like, there's gloves, you know. I'm like, oh, gloves, you know. Right. I'm going to present this to you, Matthew.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that's your...
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Do you got anyone like a salad to take home? I've got a few extra.
Sure.
Take one, please.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Not as nice as what you gave Matt, but I'll take it.
No.